What's up, you guys? Thank you for clicking on this video. So as you can tell by the title, we're going to be looking at 10 Transformers Prime figures and characters that I think need figures redone, stat in the modern era. This isn't going to be everybody, I think, who needs a new figure from Transformers Prime. This is just going to be 10. And by the way, this is also in no particular order. It's just 10 random figures I thought of for this video. I'll probably do a second follow-up video on 10 other Transformers Prime stuff that they could redo in modern times that would make for a better figure than what we got 10 plus years ago. So without further ado, let's get right down to the nitty gritty and start off with, I kind of grouped this into one number here. I don't know if this is cheating. I don't care. I make my own rules with these top 10 lists. But, the core Autobot team, excluding Cliff Jumper, which is Bumblebee, Bulkhead, Optimus, RC, and Ratchet. You do have some good first edition figures for the 4 out of the 5 here, excluding Ratchet. But there are certain things that are a little outdated, and if you don't want to pay for third-party or KO APC figures of these, it's hard to justify getting those if you only like official stuff for whatever reason. So I really do feel like if they did a new Leader Class Optimus, a new Voyager or Leader Class Bulkhead, and a deluxe Bumblebee and RC, that's not G1-ified blocky stylized like what we've been getting with the Prime updates the last few years since Legacy. I'm talking about full-on cartoon screen accuracy, maybe put them in Studio Series like what they've been talking about with Prime and Animated the last few years. I could see these maybe happening in like 2028, 2029 in Studio Series if they do go that route. But yeah, keep it cartoon accurate. Just improve upon the things that are a little outdated or were just flat out wrong with those original figures. I'm not going to say these are going to be perfect because, looking at the video game stuff from Studio Series, whether they're updates or just completely new figures, they've kind of fell flat on their faces with some of those figure releases. But we're just going to have to wait and see on what they do with these Prime releases going forward. Hopefully they figure stuff out. But yeah, especially that Ratchet, he needs a new figure bad. Like that, what was it called? Was it Robots in Disguise, that line? After first edition, that Ratchet, I mean, it's okay, but it could be a lot better, especially when you compare it to those first edition figures, which, the Robots in Disguise subline took a dive in budget. That was around 2012 when that stuff started happening, so it makes sense, but at the same time, man, he needs a figure badly, more so than the last 4 of the Autobot team. But next up here, number 2 on the list, we got my guy Megatron. If you're doing Optimus, you gotta do Megatron. So, we've had a couple APC Toys releases. We had a couple releases from Hasbro back in the day. And, APC is definitely the best, but again, it's not official. If you look at the Hasbro figures, the articulation's outdated. I'm pretty sure this figure didn't have a waist swivel. It definitely didn't have any foot articulation, which makes posing super awkward. And, they could fix some proportional things, some detail issues that are a little inaccurate. I think they could really nail a Leader Class Transformers Prime Megatron these days. If it's Voyager Class, that thing is probably cooked like the War for Cybertron game Megatron we got a couple years ago. But if it's a Leader Class, I do have a high percentage of hope here that this could be better than the APC Toys version and definitely the original versions we got back in like 2012. So hopefully we get this sooner rather than later, especially if we get an Optimus here soon, which we probably will. Next one here, Arachnid. Now this is a figure that has been widely hated by Transformers fans since this figure was released in, 2011, 2012. This figure should have been a Voyager class just because of the intricacy of her design and all those legs and how big they are. We got the APC Toys version, but that I've heard like some complaints about the plastic quality on the spider legs and stuff. I don't know if that's been fixed on future releases recently. Would be nice to get an official Voyager class figure, especially since we're getting that new Transformers 1 Arachnid that I think is a deluxe even, and they were able to fit in a good amount of her design almost spot on. I'd say like 80 to 90% accurate with that figure. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's a deluxe, or it might be a Voyager. But either way, if they could fit it as a deluxe, I'm sure they could do a lot better than this figure we got 13 years ago. But if it's a Voyager, then for sure this figure might be a banger. Next one here, we got Soundwave. Now, the deluxe was decent, and I'm pretty sure we did get an APC Toys version not too long ago. That was a pretty big improvement from what I remember. But his deluxe figure, the articulation is super outdated. He's very finicky and flimsy, and the design could be a lot better, especially with how Laserbeak, folds onto his chest and stuff. That could be better too. But I think as a Voyager class, put him in line with all the other Soundwave figures we've gotten over the last 6 years since Siege. You do him that good as a $35 figure, you got probably a home run Transformers Prime Soundwave. But I don't know, when they inevitably do him, hopefully it's good. But there is a lot of room for improvement, especially on how they handle those arms. I mean, geez, look at those joints on those arms. Ugh, that is absolutely awful. Next one here, we got Ultra Magnus. Now, I think this guy should be a leader class. Voyager class, they could maybe fudge it, but I don't know. I think nowadays he would probably be too small for, his size and everything. The Robots in Disguise Voyager was cool, but then you got some ones that were inaccurate, like the other Voyager class, and then you had that Weaponizer leader class gimmick figure or whatever that really wasn't accurate at all either. So he's got some weird figures. There's that one Voyager that's pretty good. It's got those missile launcher things, the wings. Again, it's not perfectly accurate, and that hammer is awful, which is why a leader class figure would do this a lot more justice. A bigger hammer, less hollowness, more articulation, a beefier looking body mold for him. So all in all, there's a lot of room for improvement on a new Ultra Magnus figure. Guys, I made a messy. I was planning this video out like a day or two before I'm recording it right now, and I forgot that, yes, I used one whole image for the Autobots in my planning thing when I record, because what I use is I bring together images for these videos that I can look at while I'm recording, and what I did was I grouped every figure from the core 5 Autobots into one quick photo, and I didn't leave them individually, so I thought I was grouping them into one number, but no, the Autobots served as the first 5, so yeah, I cooked at the beginning of this video. I messed it up, but the last one, number 10, that I want to talk about, again, these are in no order, I just went randomly, but the last one I wanted to cover here is the Knockout character. So, yeah, this original deluxe is absolutely awful. Look at that freaking robot mode. The arms are terrible, the midsection awful. The legs and the head sculpt were pretty decent, the weapon was okay, but everything else that actually would make the figure good are absolutely awful. So, yeah, I mean, it's pretty straightforward on what they need to improve. That god-awful 2022 Deluxe Legacy figure does not count that crappy G1-ified version of this absolutely baller design we got from Prime Knockout here. Make it cartoon accurate. Fix the issues with the robot mode proportions and design that were present on this original deluxe, and you got yourselves a good Knockout figure. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to be a guaranteed hit at deluxe, because I'd say more now than ever these days, the last few years, deluxe has been more hit or miss. There's some deluxe figures that are good, and then there's others that are just flat out bad. So I don't know, it really could go either way when we inevitably do get a new cartoon-accurate Knockout, because it's coming. He's a popular character. Everything for Transformers Prime is coming at some point, whether it's G1-ified or cartoon-accurate. Both are going to be done. I just know it. Within the next few years, they're going to start doing more as these shows get older. It's been 15 years since Prime. We're creeping up on the 20th anniversary almost. So, they're going to start leaning into these characters more, especially animated. That's a few years older. So, going to be pretty exciting times to see how they do these figures coming up in the next few years, I'd assume. But, yeah, that's my top 10 list so far I'm going to do another video on this at some point later on down the line. I don't know, could be next week, could be a month from now. We'll see how plans for videos go, because things can always change with news or rumors or leaks that come out, whatever. But yeah, the first 5 went to the Autobot team, just to recount there and let you guys know. And then everybody else I talked about after those core 5 Autobots. So yeah, give me your top 10 list of Transformers Prime figures that you want redone in the modern era down in the comments section below. All my social medias are linked down below, including my email. And yeah, guys, thank you for watching this video. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye.